Hey folks, Kevin here. Today I'm going to jump into the WebdriverIO Mochawesome-reporter integration. Mochawesome is a HTML CSS reporter for Mocha.js, similar to Allure reporter. You can see some sample test output here of what the report looks like. To get started with the reporter, we first need to install it. And then we need to go into our configuration file and add it as a reporter. There are also a few reporter options we need to set in order for WebdriverIO to know where to write the report. We'll set those there. The file name isn't required. We'll default to Mochawesome if not provided, but the output directory is. With that in place, we can now run our test command, and you'll see it wrote the JSON report to our local directory. If I list out the contents of the directory, you'll see that myfile.json has been written to. Now we need to generate our report HTML file and all the required assets for it. If you follow along on the WebdriverIO website, it may show just this install command without a specific tag. Unfortunately, there's been a breaking change update to the Mochawesome report generator so that the Mochawesome WebdriverIO reporter can no longer work with that breaking change. So we need to be specific in our install and limit it to version 2 of Mochawesome report generator. To do that, I'll paste the install command and then I'll set the tag to 2.3.2, which was the latest 2 version. With our report generator installed, we're now going to use it by running the marge command, which I believe stands for Mochawesome reporter generator. And it's a pretty quick little command, and if we command click on that file path, it will open up our report. Since we only had one test, there's only one test that reports. It took about 2 seconds to run. We have our session ID. It's ran in Chrome. This was the title of the suite, and then this is the title of the test. And overall, it took for almost 5 seconds to run. That's the basics of the reporter, but we can actually pass in a few settings to the report generator itself. For instance, if I wanted to auto open the report, I could run that command again and set auto open, and now it automatically opens my report. Saves you an extra click. There's also a couple reporter configurations for the WebdriverIO reporter itself in regards to screenshots. We can include those using Mochawesome ops. We can set to include the screenshots to true and whether to use a relative path. That's if you want to use screenshots. If you want to check out some examples of that, go into their test folder, into fixtures and specs, and you will see their screenshot test case showing how to include a screenshot in your test case. One other item in Mochawesome is the ability to add context to a test. So in our report, you can see this is additional test context. It's hard to say. And it includes the session ID. If we want to include some more test context, we can manually add that. The first thing we'll need to do is install Mochawesome. Then with that installed, we can go back to our test, add the add context function, and then I'll change this console log over to add context. And one thing I need to do is pass in the test context itself, which is referred to in the this object. Then we'll set the page title to be title, and that way we can see it in our report. I can go back to my command line, run my test, and then run my generate command. And now you can see the context has been added. That about sums it up for the Mochawesome reporter. It's a neat little tool to add a little bit of UI to your test reports and can make it more easy to share test reports with your team and let them know what's passing, failing, things like that. Great to add this to a CI process so that instead of having to read through your configuration server logs, you can instead get a generated file website that you can go to and take a look at it in detail. As always, if you have any comments or questions, I'd love to hear your feedback in the comment section down below, and have a great week.